Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we will be seeing the debut of a new series. In this series I will be previewing and predicting all of the games in the AFL. Now today's round, or this weekend's round, is round 12, and I know it's a bad time to start a series halfway through the year and we're in the bye rounds, but there is no time like the present, so we will be getting into it today. Obviously, I'm a St Kilda supporter, as you see here, and it's been a very questionable year. I will be releasing videos on that in the future, probably next week, or maybe even on the weekend, I'm not sure. But yes, we'll get straight into this weekend's game. Now, we do have the bye round, so it is a little bit split with three teams, or three weeks of bye rounds to come. This is the first with 6 teams having the bye. Next week and the week after will follow suit. So this weekend, the teams that have the bye are obviously Essendon, Fremantle, Hawthorn, Port Adelaide, St Kilda and the Western Bulldogs. This round does feature the Queen's Birthday Big Freeze at the G game on Monday, which will be really good. That should be a high stakes game, as it always is, and it's one that I'm looking forward to. But this round does feature a lot of games that are exciting, and we'll get into them now. So tonight we obviously have Richmond versus Geelong at the MCG. Now that'll be a cracker. It always is. These teams have had a very good rivalry over the past probably 3 or 4 years, ever since Richmond have been really heavy flag contenders. So yes, it's at 7:50 tonight. There's 3 changes for Richmond, with Rioli Towns. 4 changes actually. I've got my iPad here to read off. Rioli, Townsend, Graham and Naish in for the injured Alice, Asprey and the omitted Bolton and Broad. Geelong have the 2 changes also, with Parsons and Smith being dropped for Ablett and Stanley. Bit of a like for like ratio there with Geelong, with a small for a small and a tall for a tall, as it goes. My prediction for this game is I think that the Cats will run out victors by a couple of goals. I think it'll be a very tight tussle. I don't think Geelong will have it their own way, especially in front of a big crowd at the MCG. But Geelong, they do play very well in big games, and this is another one of them. So it'll be really good to watch. There's a few key lineups key matchups rather, with Hooley on Hawkins. Hooley's been in unbelievable form, as well as Kelly and Prestia as well through the middle. That'll be a really good matchup. And there's just it's a really well set game for both teams. Like Baker on Dangerfield, that'll be really interesting to watch. Obviously Baker is a really hungry, young, very aggressive, great player in the making, and Dangerfield is Dangerfield. So it'll be really interesting to watch, and I think that it is one worth doing so. Alright, on to the Saturday afternoon game, Carlton and Brisbane at Marvel. This is another crossroads game, I think it'll really show where the Lions are at. If they can come out and absolutely wipe the floor with Carlton in Melbourne, that'll be really telling as to where they're going. Obviously they're in the 8 at the moment, in a very good position, going to have a very good launch at the finals. And Carlton have obviously just gotten rid of Brendan Bolton. They've been looking for something in the past few weeks, and they could be able to get it against Brisbane. They really could be able to get it against Brisbane. So 4 changes for Carlton, with Thomas obviously starred in the VFL last week after his drinking incident a couple of weeks ago. Lockie O'Brien, Mitch McGovern and Cade Simpson come in for the injured Liam Stocker, Darcy Lang and the omitted Fasolo and Kennedy. Some also very good changes there for Carlton, especially with Thomas and Simpson. McGovern obviously coming in off that ankle injury. And the one change for the Lions is Jacob Allison in for the omitted Ben Keys. This will be a really good game as well. I think that the Lions will run out easy winners in this. Not easy, but I think that Carlton will obviously put up a very good fight for probably 3 quarters, like they've done in their past few games. But I think that Brisbane, their experience and probably more their ladder position, will come out on top here. I think that they'll win by probably maybe 35 points. I'll put them up by. Some very good matchups there. The two number 9s, Cripps and Neil. Brownlow contenders going at it. Also, Mackay and Andrews, two young stars in the making. That'll also be really good to watch, as well as some other ones, McGovern and Hodge maybe as well. On to the twilight game now. Gold Coast and North Melbourne up at Metricon, 4:35 tomorrow afternoon. 3 changes for the Suns with Harbrow, Will Brodie and Took Miller coming in for the injured Jack Bowes, Josh Schoenfield and George Horn-Smith, who has been dropped. And just the one change for the Kangaroos. Sam Durden comes in for the injured Jamie McMillan. Jack Zeeble playing his 200th game. Very, very good player. Obviously, he's played 200 games. Yeah, you don't get them very easily. So it'll be good to watch as well. This is another very interesting game. We'll show where both teams are at. Obviously, the Suns have gotten unlucky in a couple of games. They've showed a lot of fight, especially in that Melbourne game. They probably didn't deserve to lose it, but they did. And the Kangaroos, they've been on the up. This will be their 3rd win in a row. Granted, they're able to capture it, and I think that it'll be really good to watch. Some very good matchups in this one, with obviously a ruck battle will be really good between Witts and Goldstein. Witts has been playing very well, and Goldstein is Todd Goldstein. He's been solid for a few years now. Cunnington and Swallow will also be very good to watch, as well as Braden Fiorini running through the midfield. He's been going absolutely nuts up there in Queensland for the Suns in recent weeks. Now on to the Saturday game, the lone Saturday night game at the Adelaide Oval, 7:10 tomorrow night. Adelaide versus the Giants. This will be a very good game. 3 changes for the Crows. Hardigan, Douglas and Crouch come in. Matt Crouch, that is. For the dropped Hugh Greenwood, Bryce Gibbs, that is a massive surprise, and David Mackay. I say it's a massive surprise for Gibbs to be dropped because he has played very, very well in the past few weeks. He's been interchanged a lot in their side. He's been in and he's been out. I think that they need to keep him in. They traded a lot for Bryce Gibbs to get him over, and they're not using him to his full potential, which is a bit unfortunate. And only the 2 changes for the Giants, with Williams and Taylor coming in for Keefe and the injured Lockie Whitfield. Very good matchups in this one as well. This will be a very, very good match. I was going to say Walker on Davis, but I think Davis will win that quite comfortably. Douglas on Kelly will be good. Cameron on Talia and Smith on Tomlinson. That'll be a really good matchup. Both of them are very, very good players. It'll be really good. The Giants forward line, Cameron and Finlayson will be very hard to stop. Tim Taranto's always good. And then for Adelaide, you've obviously got their midfield, Atkins, Laird, Smith. Who else do you want to put in there? Douglas, Tom Lynch, Eddie Betts. It's a very, very good team. And adding Matt Crouch into that as well will be a very, very handy in. On to the Sunday games now, or the lone Sunday game. It is Sydney versus West Coast at the SCG at 3:20. The teams are to be selected out of, or the ins for the Swans are Cameron, Stoddart, Thurlow, Rowbottom and Rose. Robbie Fox comes out due to injury. Dane Rampy playing his 150th game, which is always a very well done to him. Very good player as well. And then for the Eagles, Hickey, Nelson, Rotham, Cameron, Archie and Smith come in for the injured Hearn and Allen. I'd assume that Tom Hickey and maybe Josh Smith will come in for them. Maybe Nelson instead of Smith. This will be a really good game. Maybe not actually. The Swans have been very hit and miss this year. I think that it'll be a very good opportunity for the Eagles to win in Sydney. And away from home, big win on the road will be good for them. Reid and McGovern will be good. A good matchup. Alir and Darling will be good as well. And then in the midfield, Parker on Yo. Florent has got a very tough day at the office on Andrew Gaff. But if he can stop him from running rampant, it will be well needed. And it'll be good for him. If he wins on Sunday and the Swans get up, that is a massive confidence boost for them going forward. And then the big game on Monday, Collingwood and Melbourne, Queen's birthday. Footy at the G. To be selected, Collingwood to be selected from Sire, Cox, Quaynor, Dacos and Crocker. Dane Beams goes out with a hip injury. I'd assume that I'd assume Cox will come in for that actually. And the D's, Hoare, May, Lever, Salem, Prowse and Neil Bullen come in for, Oscar McDonald and Jay Kennedy Harris. I'd assume that Stephen May and Marty Hoare will come in for both of them. Marty Hoare played his footy in my local league, the Bendigo League, and he will be very good. He's a very good player, and it's awesome to see him getting his opportunity. Speaking of opportunities, this is a big opportunity for the Demons to really show up a premiership contender on a big stage. You know, they've been very close. They probably should have won last week against the Crows up in Darwin, but couldn't quite get the job done. But that midfield battle will be good. Baker on main. Oscar Baker will become a hell of a player in due time. Pendlebury and Viney, that's a good matchup. DeGoey and May, that'll be good to watch. And Hoare on Stevenson, two young guns going at it. That will also be a very, very good matchup. Now that does it for this weekend. Hopefully you enjoyed what you saw. If you are new, please like and subscribe. If you want to see more of this sort of content, please let me know in the comments below. It is a new series that I'm trialling, and I'm hoping that it'll go well. So thank you for watching. Enjoy your weekend. I hope your team gets up, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one, and bye-bye.